It's Jonathan Angel here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm delighted to be joined by the Cobra himself, Froch. When I watch Canelo fights and I see the talk afterwards, people always say, who from the past could have given Canelo trouble? Your name is always in the mix.
Yeah.
How do you think you would have fared against Canelo, this Canelo in your prime, and is that a fight you would have loved?
100%, 100% I'd have loved that fight. If I was in my prime, and my prime being sort of the back end of my career, when I had the rematch with Kessler, and then I beat Lucian Butte and that obliteration, and I had the rematch with Kessler, and then the two Groves fights, which I wasn't fully motivated for the first Groves fight, I was for the second. I was a mature, seasoned professional world champion. I'd suffered defeats, I'd come back and won. So, me in my prime at about 34, 35 years old against Canelo Alvarez, I think I'd have been too much for him. I think that myself. The viewers and the listeners can think what they want, but I backed myself in fights. And against smaller people like Arthur Abraham, who was knocking everybody over and everybody was frightened to death of getting in with him, I just totally outboxed him and battered him, like he'd never been battered before. So when I look at Canelo Alvarez, and I've met him and shook his hand before the Saunders fight, because we interviewed him on the Zone, I was looking at him and sizing him up, and he's about your kind of height. He's like, what is he,
5'8" for those that don't know.
5'8", and I shook his hand, and his hands aren't very big, and I didn't give him a little crush, and we didn't have a pull and a push or anything. It was amicable. But I was looking at him thinking, I'm not so sure you'd get near me, and if you did, I'm happy to put one into you. Because of the size, but who knows? At the time, I'd have took the fight, it would have been amazing. That's the kind of a fight where I think that would have been a proper fight. It would have been me trying to box and move, and then realise I'm not good enough to box and move, because he's a very good boxer, even though he's shorter. So I'd have thought, right, I've got to stand there and fight with him. And it would have been, do I get chinned? Would he be the first man to knock me out? I'm not so sure. Would he have put me over? Maybe. But would I have got up to win? Possibly. We'll never know. But yeah, to answer your question, that's a fight that should have happened, and I loved it to happen. But it's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you put that match up on paper, it's mouth-watering. And sometimes it's a shame, because boxing, especially boxing, it's all about timing. And I was coming through just a bit too late for Joe Calzaghe to be really interested, and that never happened. And we're talking about Kell Brook, Amir Khan at the minute. No interest at all, just no interest. I'm sorry, whichever broadcaster decides to take it. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think it's a fight.